What's up guys, this is the Honest Outlaw here, and today the Gen 5 Glock was released. So right off the bat I want to tell you this is not a review. I was actually not invited to Glock's training facility to try out the new Gen 5 Glock. Not really that surprising. I haven't had the ability yet to put my hands on it or shoot it, so a lot of this information is just going to be some of the features that they've changed and my impressions of the features that they've changed from the Gen 4. I can't give you an actual review until they come out. So let's start with reliability. During the Army's modular handgun selection process, the new Gen 5 Glock had to be capable of going 12,500 rounds with only one stoppage every 2,000 rounds. And they did. Only the SIG and the Glock actually passed this portion of the test, according to Glock. Glock also claims that the gun can actually go around 30,000 rounds with only one stoppage every 2,000 rounds, which is extremely impressive. Glock also claims that it is the most reliable Glock ever made, but of course they would say that. Now, I'm not saying that it isn't the most reliable Glock ever made. I'm just simply saying that I wouldn't know that until I actually tested it myself. However, Glocks are known to be incredibly reliable, so I wouldn't doubt it either. Another big change that they made from the Gen 4s is the Ambi slide release. This is a nice feature for people who actually use slide releases. Now, I know a lot of people who use Glocks usually use the slingshot method, which is perfectly fine as well. Having an option for people who like to use a slide release, maybe guys coming off a 1911, something like that, or a CZ, like me for example. Since the Glock in the modular selection process actually had a safety, I would imagine an optional thumb safety will also come on this gun at some point, considering that it had it in the Army trials and the fact that lots of its competition offers models with optional safeties like the Smith & Wesson M&P, for example. Another huge change they made that I think a lot of people are excited about is that there's no more finger grooves. I believe the finger grooves were introduced in the Gen 3 and Gen 4. The Gen 2 didn't have them, and this will be the same. There was a lot of complaints about the finger grooves, and there was a lot of people who modded them to take them off. They personally never bothered me, but not having them won't bother me either, so it'll be a nice touch, I think. There will also be a flared magwell on this gun, which I'm pretty excited about. It will aid in faster reloads, hopefully make the gun a little bit more rigid at the bottom so you can't flex it quite as much as you can the previous gens, and it will help push your hand up higher on the gun to allow faster follow-up shots. Along with that, they added increased undercut under the trigger guard, which is another modification like the finger grooves that most people did to their Glocks anyway, which makes it more comfortable to hold. You can get a higher grip, and it won't give you that Glock knuckle that a lot of people complain about. They also changed the barrel slightly. The marksman barrel is supposed to be accurate enough to give you 4-inch groups at 50 yards. Now, I believe it has polygonal rifling, so still no lead ammo. They changed the finish on the slide as well to the new NDLC finish. It is an ion bonded finish. It makes it a little bit darker than the Gen 4s or Gen 3s, and it's supposed to be more durable even than the original Tinifer finish. They changed it to a 2-pin system as opposed to a 3-pin system. I'm not really sure why they did that, but one less pin to lose or have to take out while you're taking down your gun is better in my opinion. Another feature that they added that I've been complaining about for a long time is they are going to have a Mariglow HD night sights from the factory, which is pretty awesome. I imagine those models will cost a little bit more because they will also be offering the standard 3-dot night sights and the Glock OEM sights. Although I don't know why you would choose those over something like the Mariglow HDs, because those sights are pretty awesome. They'll also have orange followers on the magazines, another nice touch that most common guns are doing today. Like, allows you to get a better idea of how many rounds you have in the back of the magazine. They changed a lot of internal parts as well. One notable thing is they rounded off the striker. I would imagine that's to increase longevity and reliability. There are several other parts that are not compatible with the other gens as well, which is going to be kind of an issue for aftermarket parts, although we went through a lot of that with the Gen 4 as well. Some of the things that are going to be staying the same, however, are going to be the dual recoil spring, which I really like. A lot of people complain about that going over to the Gen 4, said that it caused a lot of reliability problems, and maybe it did, but Glock worked it out, and the Gen 4s do legitimately recoil less than the Gen 3s, so I prefer the Gen 4 recoil spring, especially considering that my Gen 4s are now just as reliable as my Gen 3s, so the only thing you gain is faster follow-up shots and you lose nothing. Magazine compatibility is also going to be the same, which is great. Those 33 round sticks will still work with no problem. The new Gen 5s don't have front slide serrations, even though the new Gen 4s that just recently came out had them. So that's a little odd, but I guess some people like them, some people don't. I prefer just having them. There's no reason not to have them. Holster compatibility is supposed to be mostly the same. That concerns me just a little bit, considering that I have tons of Glock holsters and I would like my Glocks to fit. They did round the nose off on the slide a great deal, so not only to make it a little bit more ergonomic, I guess, but to make reholstering just a little bit quicker. So what do I think? Well, I do think it's an improvement over the Gen 4s, but is it enough to compete with new wonder guns like the PPQ-M2 or the P10C? Well, I would say yes and no. First, I think the Gen 5 is an improvement over the Gen 4 in a lot of areas. If you have a Gen 4 right now and you're looking to get a Gen 5, only do it if you know it's a very mild improvement. However, if you're looking to get a new gun and you don't have either, I would spring for the Gen 5. It sounds like they've done a lot of interesting improvements to it, as long as it has the same reliability and track record as the previous models, and it sounds like it does. Is the new Gen 5 going to be the new wonder gun? Is it going to be much better than the PPQ or the P10C? I think that's really, really subjective. Personally, me, I wish they would have made the grip slightly more ergonomic, and I wish they would have changed the trigger to be similar to the P10C or the PPQ, changed the weight, made it a little bit lighter and crisper. However, I understand why they didn't. They don't want to lose their customer base. Lots of people are used to Glocks as they are. It's one of the most popular, if not the most popular gun in the United States, and I get it. You don't want to fix something that isn't broken. However, sometimes I do wish Glock would just take a chance with at least some of their models and make them just a little bit different to see if they can make it better. However, like I said, I get why they don't. Either way, the Glock is going to be incredibly reliable, incredibly lightweight, and I guarantee that it will be a success. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
Your fucking light flew off.